Hello, I'm Jack, and I worked with Katie on The Invasion. As you can see here, we have the header comments, including names of group members, the assignment date, and the title of the game. And throughout the rest of the code, there are inline comments that show what the quest dialogues do, and how we sort of move through the RPG. This game is pretty easy to die in. Nearly all paths that you can take will result in death. However, I believe there's at least two or three paths that you can go through, which result in a non-death experience. Now I'm just going to go through and point out some of the conditional statements we have. So first and foremost, we have our menu statement to handle a question, and that goes into an if statement with an else as well. And then we have a lot of switch statements, primarily using quest dialog boxes, then obviously going into several different cases. We have that quite a few times throughout the script. Next, we have a simple if statement with no else clause, so the action is only taken if D is equivalent to 3. Then I'll go into a wait for message box. Next, we have an if-else conditional construct. So if friend is equivalent to 1, it'll do one thing, and if not, it will do the other. These if statements then start building up, and then we go to an if-else if construct, where if news is less than or equivalent to 4, or news is equivalent to this very large number, it'll do one thing, whereas it will, if not, it'll test if news is greater than 4 and if news is less than 10. And if both of those are false, it will just skip that whole part. Similar to that, we have an if else clause, which will test what water is equivalent to, and if it doesn't meet the first two else if clauses, it will do simply what is under else. As for nested if statements, we'll just go to our most nested one, is if friend is equivalent to 1 is within an if else if, which is within a while, which is within a switch, which is within another while, which goes all the way out to the beginning to a final while statement. So this if statement, as you can see, is quite severely nested. We also have our compound conditional statements. Here we can see we're testing news and whether it's greater than 4 and less than 10. As in addition to that, we also have an or statement, which is similar to that. If news is less than or equal to 4, or news is equivalent to, I believe, a billion, it will perform what is under that if construct statement. Please note that the user response data types does vary. We do not exclusively use yes or no questions. As you can see, we have a menu statement. We have several other different statements. We primarily use quest dialogues, which use a switch, which is just a button similar to a menu. However, the buttons are arranged horizontally. We also have some text input boxes as well. So here you can see our command window input that just asks for the user's name over here in the command window. That's just to basically fulfill the requirement of a command window input, since our code uses just figures for everything else. We also have our menu statement, which is a simple yes/no, asking the user some questions, and we also have an input dialog, in this case asking what page to turn the newspaper to, between 1 and 10. However, if you put a number other than that, it will still accept it. We also, to enhance our RPG, we decided to add some sounds as well as some images into the questions and quest dialogues. And those really help engage the user and really suck them into the game as best as we can. So we have some MP3s, ray gun MP3s, a picture of a tree, stuff like that that pop up based on different questions. Finally, for extra credit, we modularized our code by having a user-defined function, in this case hide, that also loads a couple images and has a single choice quest dialogue. That to get there, there's two ways to get there. Here's one of them. Just hide is the name of the function that activates if, in this case, news, for example, if it's 1, it'll display a message box and then head into hide. And here's the second place to enter it. If you click no, it'll pop up into start up that function as well. So now I'll just give a quick demo of the code, I guess. Just to give a quick example. So I'll just run it here. First of all, it asks for my name. It's in the command window, since that's one of the requirements. So I'll just enter that. Welcome to the invasion. So I'll get out of bed. And what do I see? Aliens. Aliens out there. This must be an invasion. You knew this day would come. So what do you want to get? Let's go ahead and pick up a gun. And we're dead. So that's one of the quicker ways to die. There's obviously some even quicker ones, and there's some slower ways to die, but that's our code. Thank you very much for watching.